Okay, so here is the first look at Meteor Mission 2. It's going to be coming out on January the 11th of 2024, so about a month away. And yeah, here's some of the, I guess it's quite a villain-centric mission, this one, it seems, which is pretty cool. Especially GT villains getting some love there, which is cool. So yeah, let's go on to the main URs. Actually, 14 all up, same as the last mission, so again, quite a few. First of all, we got a Dragon Ball Goku, so pretty cool art with the Shenron. Not too much really that stand out, apart from his ability, I guess. He's got a double Dragon Fist with what's anyone really, and him and the partner cover all their stamina, and their power and guard is doubled. So pretty good effects there, honestly. Also have a Unit S with Kid Krillin and Master Roshi for only one energy, so quite a low cost. And all their damage is increased by 1,000 permanently, which is actually a pretty good. It's probably one of the best one energy unit effects, honestly, because that's 3k damage between them, so it's pretty good. And then for his main ability, when you make your move each round, all your ally attackers' stamina will be recovered, and they'll all get 6,000 power, which is pretty good. And all your ally supporters will get 3,000 guard. So power for your attackers and guard for your supporters. And if you have a Krillin in your attack zone, then also you'll be immune to stun, and you'll target the enemy with the most stamina. So that kind of bonus effect with the Krillin is kind of weak, so I don't know if you really need a Krillin for that. You can probably ignore that requirement, because the first part you don't need one. So, I mean, honestly, pretty good. Not amazing, but definitely a solid card. You know, power and stamina is always needed, so not a bad first card. We also have a dramatic art for this card. Pretty cool. Both Krillin and Goku. I guess it's from the. I think it's from the first tournament they did. Is it the 21st World Tournament? In their little suits. They're pretty cute, right? Pretty cool. Again, same ability, but just different card art, which is cool. Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the, I guess, final scene from Dragon Ball GT. Of course, this is a GT Goku. Again, really cool art with this channel. It's actually kind of almost like secret level or anniversary secret level. Like, this is really good art. So, yeah, pretty good. HP is incredible. The highest HP card so far is Arms with 5,000, so he's almost there. Really, really close to being the top HP card, so it's pretty good. He also has the Dragon Fist Kamehameha for 5 energy, so a decent cost. He's also got a super ability. This is quite a throwback one. I think it was from Universe Mission 7. There's a bunch of CPs and UR that had this super ability. So you can summon Shenron, and also I think it's Super Shenron, Purunga, and I think Black Smoke Shenron, and they can do like different attacks and stuff. So do some damage to the enemy. And the only thing is that this is a final round, which is kind of wild, right? Like, they haven't had final round activation since like Galaxy Mission, you know? So it's kind of weird. Yeah, you probably never get to see this used online, but yeah, the extra effect is that on the final round it does massive damage, and you permanently nullify the enemy's rival chance, which they're good effects, right? Like, if this is like first or second round, that would be really good. But final round, you know, that's just never going to activate, you know? So it's a bit of a shame, but his main ability is so strong, it more than makes up for it. In fact, they might have done that on purpose to kind of nerf him a bit, because this is really, really good. So as for his main ability, when you put him into the support zone, for every 1,000 total power and guard that he has, for every 1,000 he has, your team's HP maximum will increase by 500. So, you know, for example, if you have 10,000 total power and guard, like combined, then you get 5,000 HP, you know, maximum for your team, which is pretty damn strong. The only thing is that once you activate it, his power and guard will be reset to 1. So you kind of need to boost his stats up each turn to keep getting the HP. And it's kind of capped each round. So the first round is capped to 5,000 boost max, but each round that the battle goes on, there'll be a, I guess, like a higher ceiling. But that's really good. It's like kind of all it does is give you HP, but that alone is massive. And he starts off with almost 5k himself, so he is one of the best cards, I think, out of these 14 for sure. He's really, really good. Probably quite expensive. And he also has a DA, so again, kind of the opposite side. This is the, well, actually being a kid, but we have the, old colonel with the mustache. That'd be cool to get in the game, this kind of model. But yeah, pretty cool. Both DAs are really quite good for these two. Okay, now we have a Monkey Goku, 6% 4 Goku GT. Really clean art there. Like that's super super good. We've had a lot of Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, but this is definitely one of the best arts of them. Now, he does have a times 10 Kamehameha, the new one from the UGM 9 secret, but 9 energy cost is that's pretty harsh, so not too big of a fan of that. As his card action ability, he has a Kamehameha. The extra effects are twofold. First, he becomes immune to stun, and second, his cost for this is reduced by 6. So instead of 9, it will be down to 3. But this activates at the end of the second turn, so the earliest you can use that lowered cost will be the third round. So it is quite a late thing to take advantage of. So it's a bit of a shame. As for his unit, he's got one with Pan and Trunks GT for 1 energy. This will double your hero energy, so not bad. Could be good with those first round units strats. So yeah. Then his ability. So from the second round onwards, so he will recover his stamina to full at the start of each round, and based on the damage you took last round, his power and super attack damage will be permanently increased. So, for example, in the second round, if you took like 10,000 damage on the first round, then his power and super attack damage will be both increased by 10,000 permanently, which is pretty good. And for every 3,000 damage you took, you'll get 1 hero energy, right? So in that case, if you took 10k damage, you'll get 3 hero energy in that case. So it's pretty good, but it does rely on you taking quite a bit of damage. So it would probably be best used with like revival teams, right? Especially first round, you take a bunch of damage, you die, come back to life, then he'll be massively boosted up. But I think the main thing is that the 9 energy cost doesn't really go well with his super attack damage boost, because yeah, it's not you can work around it, but it's definitely a bit of a makes it harder to use. So he's not one of the strongest, but he's not bad. I would say he's still cool. Okay, so we've had 3 Gokus in a row. Finally, onto some of the GT villains. So first up, we have Android 17, and this guy can fuse into Super 17. So we've already had a Goku that can fuse into Gogeta, and a Vegeta that can fuse into Vegeto. That was last mission. This is actually, I guess, the first evil version, right? Instead of the fusion of hope, it's a fusion of despair, I guess you would say. So it's pretty cool. So this is obviously 17. Second round, he'll summon Hellfighter 17, and then they'll fuse into Super 17. And they'll do, I think it's the Flash Bomber, it says. So that's a new attack in the game for this 17. Finally, they're busting it out for him, which is cool. So the extra effect is that you need to have 10 hero energy, which is quite a tough requirement, 10. But if you have 10, then the damage is increased, and the enemy's stamina will be lowered to 0, the target. And also they become very weak to stamina damage. So it's not a bad effect, but 10 energy is always hard to get, right? So, but it's cool, and could be quite strong. Then for his main ability, at the start of each round, you'll steal 1 hero energy from the enemy, which is not bad, I suppose. And if you fuse into Super 17, then whenever he takes an attack, he'll steal 5,000 power from each of the enemy attackers in that enemy group, and he'll only take half of their fixed damage that attack, which is pretty good. So quite a good tanky character, but you need to be in that fused form to get that defensive effect. And if there's 3 enemies or more, and the enemies attacking you are range attacks, so like key blast attackers, like elites or hero types that are ranged, then the effect is greatly increased. So, kind of like in the anime, he absorbed the energy with his palm. So I guess it'll probably be like, I don't know, maybe 3 times, maybe like 15,000 power and no fixed damage affecting him, maybe. Okay, next up we have another GT villain. This is, of course, Super Baby. So he starts off in Super Baby 1, and then he can go into Super Baby 2 on the second turn with a Awoken Saiyan Burst, which is kind of funny. Issue effect is that he does 3 times damage from then on, so that's pretty good. Triple damage is quite nice. I think as his Super Baby 1 attack, he has the Final Flash, which is pretty cool, and Kata is really, really clean. Probably my most wanted UI out of these 14, honestly. He's really cool. And once he goes into the Super Baby 2 form, he gets the Super Revenge Death Ball. That's pretty cool. Pretty hyped for that. And he's pretty strong. So as for his main ability, when you put him into the attack zone, he can't join any group attack. So basically he's always going to be attacking by himself. And any allies and enemies in the same row as him, he'll steal half of their power. So both your guys and enemies. Kind of like reflecting he doesn't really care about anyone by himself, and which is pretty strong, right? Could be good with some strategies, That's pretty strong, and he'll get really powerful himself, which is nice. And if he's in Super Baby 2 form, then when he attacks, he will basically restore 20% of your HP of the damage you do. So if you do like 10,000 damage in his attack, you'll heal basically 2,000 HP, which is not a lot, but if you do massive damage, you can heal quite a lot, right? And it's every round, so it could be quite nice, right? It's actually quite a surprisingly strong looking card, so that's pretty cool. Okay, now we have another Change Switch card. I think this is the third Ultimate Rare Change Switch in a row, which is pretty cool. They're really busting these out quite a few lately. I think it's the ninth one, so one more and I'll probably do a ranking vid of the top 10 Switch cards in the game. This is Frieza and Cell from Dragon Ball GT, and Frieza finally has his first HD model. Fucking about time, right? But finally he's got one, that's nice. So, both elite types, of course. They're both relatively balanced. HP is pretty high, but power and guard is low. Cell being the slightly higher power-wise and slightly lower guard-wise. So as for Frieza's ability, when you make a move each round, he will lower all of the enemy's stamina. And if you put him into attack zone, then at the end of the power level battle, he'll lower all enemy attackers' power by 1,000 times the amount of enemy attackers, right? So if there's 7 enemy attackers, then they'll all lose 7,000 power, which is not bad. But if there's a Goku or a Goku GT in the enemy attackers that turn, the effect will be increased. So I think at least double that, but hopefully more. Now on to Cell. So when you make a move each round, he'll lower all of the enemy's guard by 2,000, which is not a massive amount, but something, I guess. And if you put him into the attack zone, then at the end of the power level battle, his damage that turn will be increased by 500 times the amount of enemy attackers. So with 7 enemy attackers, that's a maximum of 3,500 extra damage, which is not heaps, but I guess it's something. And again, same as a Frieza, if there's a Goku or a Goku GT, and the enemy attackers that round, the effect will be increased. So another one of those cards where the boosted effects are unknown at this point, but yeah, it seems okay, but not super strong. Now on to the last of the main URs, we have Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. Pretty cool art with him and God Trunks and Blue Evolution Vegeta, the OG Super Saiyan trio. Okay, he's a hero type. Actually has the OG UR Omen attack, which is pretty cool. And I think he's the first of the new HD models to have it. That's pretty cool. Also got one of the new card action abilities from MM1. This is the Saiyan Rush. It's a second round card action ability, and basically he gets 2 partners, and they do an attack together. And if you do a perfect action, then I think Goku's damage reduction is increased by 50%. So basically, he'll take half damage from then on. So not bad defensively, I guess. Could be okay. Then for his main ability, so when you put him into the attack zone each round, based on how few ally attackers you have that round, their power and guard will be increased that round. So if you have a lot of ally attackers, then it probably won't be a massive boost. But if you have only 2 or 3, it'll probably be quite big, right? So I kind of want you to play with only a few attackers with this card. And moving on from that, if you have 3 attackers or less, then they'll be immune to stun that round, and they'll also ignore the enemy's guard and damage reduction that round too. So yeah, it could be okay, especially if you have like some guards that attack 3 times by themselves, especially like the L Secret Goku GT springs to mind a bit. So it could be okay, but it does seem quite a cheap one. But yeah, still cool card art wise. Okay, now we have 6 Dokkan URs. Pretty hype. Yeah, I mean we had Dokkan only like a few missions ago, I think, collab. But again, another one. So of course these are all from Dokkan, art-wise. So pretty cool. So first of all, they all have a unique ability. It's at the start of the battle. All of their super attacks will be permanently available, which is pretty nice. And the more of these URs you have in the same team, their damage and damage reduction will be increased too. So it could be quite strong. And they seem quite strong for the most part, ability-wise. So they'll have the Dokkan Break touch action ability. And most of the effects are pretty weak. Like this guy, he only does 1,000 lowering on the enemy's guard, so not heaps. It's mostly the abilities and unique abilities that are good. So yeah, so this is Super Saiyan Goku's main ability. At the start of the battle, all of your ally attackers' power will be increased by 3,000, which is not bad, I suppose. And when you put them into the attack zone, then at the end of the power of battle, all of your ally attackers' power will be increased by 1.5 times. And if you have a Super Saiyan Vegeta in your ally attackers, then it'll be 3 times instead. So potentially 3 times power every turn for all your ally attackers. That is pretty insane. That's kind of ridiculous. Like, that's just heaped. And it gives you power at the start of the battle as well. So this could be one of the best ones, honestly, surprisingly. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. Okay, next up we have Metal Cooler, and actually got an HD model with this card, which is pretty hype, Looks really nice too. As for his Dokkan Break effect, he increases the enemy's CI speed, so again, pretty weak effect. Similar unique ability as the Goku, of course, they'll have it. And for his main ability, outside of the battle, he'll lower all of the enemy's power by 3,000. And also, at the end of each round, based on how many charge impacts you won that round, his HP will be recovered and his power and guard will be increased by 1,000. So if you win 5 charge impacts in the first round, then at the end of that round, you'll recover 5,000 HP, and this Metal Cooler's power and guard will be increased by 5,000. So it could be good. I mean, if you're good at CIs, then it could be really good for you. Otherwise, it might not be the best one, but it's definitely a high-risk, high-reward card, but could be quite cool. And art is really quite good, I think. Okay, next up we have a Super Saiyan Gohan from the second Broly movie. Pretty cool art. So his Dokkan Break effect is that he lowers all the enemy's stamina to 0, which is pretty good. Definitely the best one so far. And for his main ability, it's kind of... I'm not really too sure if it's good or not, but anyways, outside of the battle, he'll increase all of your allies' guard by 2,000. And there's 2 conditions for the next part. You need to have 3 or more enemies in the enemy team. And his group needs to be attacked, right? So when he's attacked, he'll destroy half of your own team's hero energy, and in return, you'll limit the damage he'll take from that round. Oh, sorry, from that attack. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, so the more energy you destroy, then the more he'll limit it by, right? So again, it's still unknown how much he'll limit it by, but it could be kind of hard to keep up, right? Like maybe 1 attack or 2 attacks, it could be quite good, but once you run out of energy, he won't work anymore, right? So, I don't know. It could be good, but I don't think it'll be that good. Okay, now we have Broly from the same movie. His Dokkan Break effect is that he halves the enemy's super attack damage. So again, a pretty good one. Better than the Goku and Cooler's effects. And for his main ability, it's actually probably one of the best of these 6, I would say. Which is that at the start of the battle, he'll lower all the enemy's guard by 2,000. And when you put him into the attack zone, then at the end of the power of the battle each turn, he'll basically destroy half of your own team's hero energy, and in return, this Broly's damage will be increased by 2,000 per energy you destroyed, right? So if you have 10 energy and you destroy half that, that's 5, and that's plus 10,000 damage for him, and that's permanent. So each turn is getting more and more damage, fixed damage, which is pretty good. But of course, his other weaknesses, like if you can't get energy in the first place, right? He won't do anything really, so it could be quite good, but has weaknesses, but definitely one of the best of these 6 Dokkan URs. Okay, next up we have Fusion Reborn. Vegeta, surprisingly, not Vegeta or Goku. So his Dokkan Break effect is that he lowers the enemy's hero energy by 1. That's kind of weak, honestly. Pretty weak. As for his main ability, at the start of the battle, he'll slow down the CI speeds of your allies. Pretty good effect there, honestly. And during the power level battle each round, any of your allies that have their damage reduction lowered, they'll have their stamina recovered, and they'll get 5,000 power and guard. Oh, sorry, it's only for ally attackers though, but it's still pretty good, right? So yeah, stamina recovery and power and guard boost for any ally attackers, sorry, that have their damage reduction lowered. So it's quite a good combo, I would say, with the UGM9 Demiurge and the BM4 Gohan, definitely. And last of the Dokkan URs, we have Janemba. So same as Metal Cooler, he also got an HD model, so that's pretty cool, right? No new super attack or anything, but that's still pretty cool, right? More HD models, the better. That's clean. So, as for his Dokkan Break effect, he'll lower the enemy's power by 3,000. It's okay, it's pretty weak though. And for his main ability, at the start of the battle, he'll increase the CI speeds of all enemies, and at the end of each round, he'll lower the enemy's stamina by a small amount, and he'll increase the damage they take by 10%. So, honestly, they're both pretty weak effects, but they will get stronger effects as you lose HP, right? So the more HP you lose, the stronger those effects will be. The stamina drain and the damage increase they take. But I think that's also because it's the end of the round as well. If it was the start of the round, that'd be a lot better. But yeah, he's probably one of the weakest of these 6. Okay then, last but not least, we have another Goku GT. Quite a few this mission. So this is of course one of the shots of the GT endings, pretty cool. HP is kind of low, and it's actually a not part of the main machines cards. It's actually a 4-star, but it's a kind of a promotional 4-star. Get it from doing the treasure box pools, and if you get the random chance to get it, then I guess in the arcade one of the staff members will give you it. So kind of a bonus UR, if you will. So yeah, pretty cool. And it's got a ultimate energy as a touch action ability. Extra effects being he will disable the enemy's miracle chance and also increase their CI speed by a lot. So pretty good there, honestly. He also has a unique ability. This is shared with some of the CPs of this mission. And outside of the battle, if you have a young Goku, a normal Goku, and a GT Goku on your team, then your HP is going to be increased by 3,000. And the more cards you have with this unique ability, the better the effect will be. I think the most I saw was 18,000 HP boost, which is, that's quite a lot, right? So it could be kind of good. They have his main ability. If you put him into the attack zone, then when you make a move each round, all of your melee type attackers will be attacking by themselves that turn, which is berserkers and any melee type hero types, right? So they can be a bad thing sometimes, but also a good thing sometimes. So it's pretty cool. And if they get a perfect on their charge impact when they attack, then they basically lower the target's damage reduction, right? So they take 50% damage from then on, and it stacks, right? So it can be kind of nice, right? Taking one after the other, lowering the enemy's damage reduction. Could be kind of good, but yeah, maybe a bit hard to use. I kind of have a feeling though, but yeah, it could be good. So yeah, so again, 14 UR, same as last mission, so quite a few. Took a while to get through all those. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy watching that. Definitely quite a few strong ones. It definitely seems like there's better, stronger URs than MM1. For the most part, I mean some are kind of weak, but mostly I think they're quite a bit stronger. So that's kind of good. So I think we probably will do a pool video in day one, me and Hims. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.